Happy Thanksgiving to all our friends in Canucksville as they celebrate their Thanksgiving. And a lot's happened since we last were here. And we'll get to that in a moment. We've got a full house with Kurt, Darlene, Jess, John, and Lottie, and myself, Stuart. This is the WDW Fan Zone show, and I want to take a moment right now to send all those that have been affected by Hurricane Milton, or Uncle Milty, as I like to call it. We hope you're managing and getting on. Don't ever give up. Stay strong, and just please continue to be safe wherever you're holding up. And this too shall pass. You'll come through it, and you'll be fine. All right, tonight's show. We're going to get into the news right now, and then we'll get into our topic of the night, which is our top 5 sit-down and quick service restaurants. But right now, I'm going to turn over to Jess with the latest Walt Disney World news. Take it away, Jess.
Hello, everyone. All right. So, Big Thunder Mountain is going to close for refurbishment on January 6th, 2025, and will be set to open with a little bit of new magic in 2026. There's no confirmation on if this has anything to do with the Cars Land expansion. Hollywood Studios was supposed to open The Little Mermaid, a musical adventure, this fall, but it is being pushed back to summer 2025. In Animal Kingdom, Triceratops Spin, Fossil Fun Games, and Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures will all close permanently on January 13th, 2025. Dinosaur, the Boneyard, Restaurantosaurus, Dinobite Snacks, and Trilo Bites are all staying open for now with no closing date yet. On November 3rd, Epcot will be opening 1 hour later at 10 a.m. because of the Wine and Dine Half Marathon. Don't forget to check park hours before planning your trip and check again once you arrive to see if they've changed. The Walt Disney World area is expecting gorgeous weather this next week, sunny and cooler mornings. And that's the latest Disney news straight to you from Central Florida. Back to you, Stuart.
Thank you, Jess. Great as always with the latest news.
Thank you so
And
much.
I know you want to get back to the football game.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
No. It's all Jets.
All right. See you real soon.
Yeah, see you next week. Have a great week.
Bye, Jess.
Bye.
All right. So I thought we'd start off with the sit-down restaurants first. And I was mentioning these guys in our pre-show that, 5 is really, really tough. If you had 10, it's a little easier, but 5, ooh. And I don't know if it's fair for me to say this about everybody here, but I know for myself, if you ask me the same question, give me my top 5 10 minutes from now or an hour from now, it's probably going to have a couple of changes in it. And if you ask me in a week from now, probably a couple more changes. So, please keep that in mind. There are a lot of great restaurants at Disney. And let's see what everybody's got. All right, Kurt, number 5 on your sit-down list.
On my sit-down list, yep. I'm going with Beast Castle. Strictly for the ambiance. Not a huge fan since he took away the midday menu, but it's still a really nice place to eat. I just love the ambiance of that place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does have great ambiance. All right, Darlene.
Okay, so my number 5 is Geyser Point at Wilderness Lodge. I like the outdoor.
Is it table service?
Oh, I was sitting at a table.
They do kind of consider a table service.
You if you go into quick service, you can sit at a table.
Well, it's not. It was under table service when
it is considered table service, but when you click on the menu, they actually call it.
We're going to give this to Darlene.
Bar and grill menu.
Kurt, I'm sorry, Darlene's right. You're wrong.
We're going to give it to her. So it's.
I could pick another one. I got 38.
No.
I might have it listed otherwise. That's okay.
That's fine, Darlene. It's all right. I'll make a lot more mistakes myself during the show. So, welcome to the club, Kurt.
I don't know why it's listed as that because you literally walk up to it like a counter service.
You need a reservation.
Oh, you
Not
didn't
if
used
you're just
to.
walking up and taking it.
Yeah, Alicia and Mike got needed a reservation last time we ate there.
All right.
All right.
John.
My cheapers. I'm not. I'm going to try to cheat on this one, but I'll probably get thrown out. I was going to say Tusker House / Boma.
No. John, we're doing quick service. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're doing
No,
sit
we're
down.
doing
You're right.
table
Sit down.
service.
Sit down. You're right. See, Kurt, I told you I'd make mistakes. It was just a matter of time.
That's okay. I still think guys are whatever. Don't worry about it. Darlene, you were right. It is listed as table service. I'm looking.
So, Kurt, I'm sorry, John, is it Boma or Tusker House? It can only be one.
Yeah, I figured you'd say that. So I would have to go with Tusker House over Boma because of the character component. It being a character meal and being able to get your picture taken with the characters. It's very similar kinds of food. But they have different ambiance, but I love the food. I love the variety. And so I love them both, but so I'll say Tusker House.
Okay. Lottie.
I'm looking at my list here and I'm struggling because I keep wanting to flip-flop my 4 and 5. But I'm thinking that 5 for me is gonna have to be Jungle Navigation.
Oh, she froze.
Oh, you froze.
Canteen
Lottie,
over
you
at,
froze.
Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you froze.
Oh
Try one more
no!
time.
no.
Yeah.
All right, Jungle Navigation Skipper Canteen over at Magic Kingdom.
I just ate there for the first time. Now I can say I've eaten at every restaurant in the Magic Kingdom that's still around.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
I loved it. It was great.
okay.
But it didn't make my top 5. All right. So for me, number 5, I had trouble with this one. Initially, I had Miramoto on my list, and then I said, no, I forgot a restaurant. Now, this used to be higher on my list, but the last time I was at this restaurant that I chose as number 5, they'd made a couple of changes to the menu, and I hope it was a seasonal change and it's gone back to the way it was. But I have Cape May Cafe as my number 5 choice, and that's over at the Beach Club. All right. Kurt, number 4 on your sit-down list.
Number 4, we're going to Canada. Gonna go hit Les Celliers. Love me some Canadian cheddar cheese soup. So one of the best soups on any menu that I know of.
Now, if any of our Canadian friends are listening or watching the show tonight, please let me know. Do you guys do turkey like we do here for Thanksgiving? I'd be curious to find out, what your Thanksgiving feast is like. All right, good choice, Kurt. Darlene.
I'm going to go with Three Bridges Bar and Grill for my number
That's
4.
a good one.
That's at the Coronado. I like the outdoors over there as well. A lot of seating too. Good drinks.
No, never ate that, but okay. John.
My next one is Sanaa. I really like the ambience, the feel of the food again. And we certainly talked about the bread service. That's what everybody talks about, but they have they have good food beyond the bread service, and it's got some overlap with the style of food between Tusker House and Boma and Sanaa, but Sanaa has unique food, and it's not the easiest to get to. But if you're staying at Kidani Village, it's a great restaurant to have right there for you.
And folks, listen to the end of the show when John serenades us with K Sanaa Sanaa.
Just for you. Just for you, Stuart.
All right, Lottie.
My number 4 is Boma. I love breakfast at Boma.
I have not had breakfast at Boma yet, but I've heard it is the best breakfast on property.
I would go with that.
Yep, best breakfast on property.
Yeah. All right, and I stayed in the same region, kind of, sort of, not really. I went with Yak and Yeti. Yes, Yak and Yeti as my number 4 choice. Love that place. Reminds me of an upscale P.F. Chang's. All right, Kurt.
Rotating back.
Yep. Number 3.
Number 3, I am heading over to the Wilderness Lodge and going over to Whispering Canyon Cafe.
Mhm.
Good choice.
So make sure you order ketchup. That's all I got to say. It's good stuff.
Or
It's just got a really good meal. That
keep ordering
shareable meal
refills
is
on your drinks too.
unlimited.
all
Yes,
things.
you got to have the refills.
Yeah.
So
right.
order the traditional. That's all I'm going to say.
Darlene.
I'm going to go with Kona Cafe at the Poly.
What do you usually get there?
What-
Seafood or something
normally
else?
Get I switched it up. I get the macadamia nut pancakes.
Oh, for dinner?
Well, not for dinner. I go to
Okay.
breakfast.
Oh, you go to breakfast. Okay.
Yes.
And remember, we didn't specify which meal at these
Yeah.
restaurants.
But I have done both. I've done breakfast and dinner there, and I prefer breakfast over dinner.
Yeah, basically the show is really to give everybody some advice on restaurants they might want to pick if they haven't eaten there yet by letting them know which our favorites are at this moment.
Yes.
And I stress at this moment because, like I said,
Oh.
you ask me this 10 minutes from now, I'll have different choices.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
John.
Well, I think I finally have one that somebody else is going to have on their list, although maybe there's others that we've had that are higher on people's lists. But my next one is Via Napoli. And we've talked about pizza before, and I think a lot of us have said that's our favorite pizza on property. And I've been to Italy, and the pizza at Via Napoli does remind you of the pizza in Italy. So very much a fan if you can get in.
Yeah. All right, Lottie.
Number 3 on my list is Space 220 over at Epcot. The ambiance is great. The drink menu is outstanding. The food is good. If you can get in, good times and good food to be had.
All right, good choice. And I went with, Lottie, you had this higher on your list. For number 3, I have Boma. Love me some Boma. I've only had dinner there, and whenever I've had dinner there, I come out and I put Santa Claus to shame with my belly because I've eaten so much. Love the food at Boma. I can't wait to go back there again. All right, Kurt, number 2 on your top 5 hit list for sit-down restaurants.
And heading over to Disney Springs for some Art Smith's Homecoming. It's tasty comfort food. The chicken is out of this world. The appetizers are delicious. If you walk out of there hungry, you did something wrong.
Lottie's shaking her head.
I'm agreeing. It's so good. I just
Okay.
have somewhere else on my list.
Okay, that's fine. Darlene.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have to go with. I'm thinking of the times I've gone. Olivia's Cafe at Old Key West.
It's a very good place. I don't understand why that place isn't more popular than it is. I think it's one of the most underrated restaurants.
It's very popular with its fans.
Mm-hmm.
It's very popular with people that stay at Old Key West.
Yeah.
Out of the way.
It is out of the way.
It is.
I'm a fan, and having said that, it didn't make my top 5. But I love the restaurant. Don't get me wrong, I love it.
And I've been there for both breakfast and dinner, and I like both.
Yeah.
Well, now I know where I'm going to. I'm going to be at Old Key West for 4 days this month. So I am going to definitely have to stop at Olivia's while I'm there.
Yeah. It's
Yes,
definitely worth the trip.
definitely.
Right, John.
My next one, number 2, and I know nobody else is going to have this at number 2. And I've said this before, but Garden Grill is one of my favorite restaurants on property. And it's not, it's nothing special as far as the nature of the food. It's not haute cuisine, but it's down home and so good and so much of it. And I love sitting in the rotating restaurant, looking down on the land, the portions of the land attraction you can see as you rotate up there. Plus, you have uh, is it Mickey
Mickey.
and Pluto, Chip and Dale?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm ashamed to say I forgot all about Garden Grill.
Oh,
And I don't have it on my list. I would have had it on my list had I remembered, but I'm not going to change my list now.
Honorable mention. There you go.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, Lonnie.
Number 2 for me, Disney Springs Wine Bar George. The fried macaroni and cheese balls are just enough to keep that restaurant in the top 5. The food is amazing. The flank steak that they bring out on the big platter, it's delicious.
Yeah. Let's see. We're doing number 2. From number 2 for me, everybody who has spent any time in Florida knows that the pizza in Florida is not so good, especially compared to the Northeast. So I went with Via Napoli. Now, I do want to say something about Via Napoli. There are some dishes on that menu that are great besides the pizza, and there's some that are like, eh. But with the pizza there, you cannot go wrong. Best pizza anywhere in the state of Florida, by far. By far. All right.
That's our first overlap.
No, I had Bowman too. I had Bowman in different.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Bowman. Yeah, you're right. Our second.
Yeah. We're up to Curtin, his number 1 choice for sit down.
Everything you just said is why it's our number 1 choice. Via Napoli is to us, that's like the best sit down restaurant that you could eat at. That's true to its name.
Mm-hmm.
It's got so many it's got great salads. It's got great appetizers. The pizza's to die for. It's not burnt. It's just filling. It's got leftovers that you want to walk around the park with and take home. It's good. It's very, very good. And yes, my wife has also been to Italy. And when I asked her, when she was sitting there, I said, she's having pizza. I said, how is it? She said, it's just like the pizza from Via Napoli.
Yeah, I have one complaint about Via Napoli, and it's not a bad complaint. It's the pizza window where you can get a slice of pizza. I have never seen it open. Please open.
Oh, it's not the same pizza either.
Really? I didn't know.
To me, it was not the same pizza. It was not nearly as good.
Maybe that's why it's not open. Why?
It's open.
I've never seen it open.
Karen
All
and
the
Daniel
years and all the
all-
times I've been to Epcot, I've never been there when it's open.
Yeah, it's normally during the busy season, like now during food and wine. On the weekends when it's busy, they open it.
When you can't go.
All right, Darlene, your number 1 sit-down restaurant.
My number 1 is Crystal Palace. The food is good. The characters are very good. You got Pooh, Eeyore, Tigger.
A lot of poo.
A lot of poo at that place.
Yeah, there's a lot of poo at your favorite restaurant.
That's one of my favorite buffets, but I didn't make my top 5. But
I had 38, so I had to narrow it down.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I said before. 5 is really hard. There's so many great restaurants at Disney. It's really tough to come down with 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right, John.
I have been trying to get a reservation at this restaurant for my trip coming up in October, and I have not been succeeding very well. I don't know what it is about the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater that everybody wants to be there. Oh no, I am just.
Oh my God! Thank God.
I am. Well, the first part is true. I've been trying to get into the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater, and I can't get in after 10:30 or before 8 o'clock.
For atmosphere, not comfort, but atmosphere, it's right. Yeah, it's great. Food-wise, for the price, and I know we're not counting price as part of this. You go to Backlot Express and get similar items.
I think it's the same menu.
Only
it's more expensive. Same kitchen, same menu.
If you had a car and darkness and movies playing at Backlot Express, then I'd go to Backlot. Anyway, no, my number 1 is Topolino's Terrace. It has been my favorite for a little while now, and it has great breakfast and great dinner. It has Mickey and Minnie as characters coming out. Great view from up at the top of the Riviera, and it's very comfortable there. And they have excellent food. So the last one I had, Garden Grill, was not haute cuisine, but this one is. This is some of the better cuisine you'll find in Walt Disney World.
So, Stuart, it looks like we're going to have to make a reservation and go and check that out one of these times.
Yeah, one of these days.
Yeah.
There's quite a few restaurants I haven't been to, but I'd say for the most part, I've been to a good majority of restaurants there.
Yeah.
Thanks to
Well, you can get there on the Skyliner from Epcot.
yes, you
Mhm.
can.
So you want to go out, if it's busy at all the Epcot restaurants, take the Skyliner over and take a break.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, Lottie.
My number one is Disney Springs Chef Art Smith's Homecoming.
Mm.
Bam.
The
Yep.
the cheese biscuits with the fried chicken sliders and the moonshine flight. That's good after park eating right there.
I agree.
All right. And my number one is Flying Fish. And believe it or not, I love the steak at Flying Fish.
Hmm.
Best steak I've ever had on property. Not just once, more than once at the Flying Fish.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have never thought of at a seafood restaurant you'd get a steak.
Yeah.
That just means that they have good chefs.
They
Yeah.
do. They've got great chefs. The
Definitely.
ambiance is
For
great.
someone like me, they have to have a good steak because I can't eat any of their seafood.
Right.
You know, it's a great place if you want to take a date or your wife.
Oh my.
Flying Fish has been your favorite for years, Stuart.
It
Yeah.
has. It has. Some things never change.
It's one of my favorites too.
Yeah. You know, there was a time where I actually had Cape May rated ahead of Flying Fish, but that's kind of changed. All right, now quick service. You know, I don't know about you guys, but for me, quick service was a little more difficult as the sit downs were, because there's a lot of good choices and they're not all in the parks. But
No.
you know, it's I had a tough time narrowing it down to 5, but I did. All right, Kurt.
My table service list on this side, my quick service on this one, it's like 4 times as long.
Yeah.
So I had to go with Lottie's favorite restaurant at number 5.
Oh no,
The Evil
You
Sandwich
didn't.
Queen strikes again.
you
I had
didn't.
to go and get the Earl of Sandwich for number 5.
Wow.
That's the best place to get a sandwich on property. A sandwich on property, as far as I'm concerned. Good price, good food, quick, boom, eat it, set.
I love Earl of Sandwich, but I'm not making any comment about that. This one, I'm going to let Lottie say what she wishes about it. I don't think it's top 5. I look, Kurt. I love Earl of Sandwich, but I just don't think
There's
it's
so
top
many
5 worthy.
choices. I tossed it in there.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
said fine. Earl of Sandwich for number 5.
All right.
There are
You-
so many choices.
You can get Earl of Sandwich off property. Like
I can't.
not.
I can't either.
No, you can't.
No.
No.
Unless I'm traveling somewhere, I never see one.
Look, if it's on property, it counts, whether you can get it off property or not.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
All right, Darlene.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Pizza Ponte at Disney Springs. The walk up, that the slices are like humongous.
For that price, they
Pizza
should be.
Ponte.
Pizza Ponte.
All right, John.
I'm going off property. It's a place that we like.
Oh, no. Off
I'm sorry,
property?
I'm sorry, out of the parks. Out of
Out
the
of
parks.
the
All
box.
right.
Out of the parks. Yeah. And it's the Mara over at Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Oh,
There you go. Okay.
I forgot
Yep.
about that.
I was going to say,
We-
if somewhere off of the 43 square miles of Disney Park, if you've got to go off site to get in the top 5, that something was wrong. But the Mara is pretty good.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no,
the
no,
Mara
no.
is good.
Yeah. And we have gone there for, well, we've gone there for breakfast and lunch if we're staying at Animal Kingdom, but for dinner, we will do counter service dinner at places like Mara
Hmm.
just
We
because it's
have.
something different to do. And but yeah, I like going there, and it's
Hmm.
for a counter service, it's comfortable and like the food.
Hmm.
We were actually talking about doing that on the next trip. They do
Oh,
have a
cool.
nice variety.
Okay, Lonnie.
My number 5 is over at Animal Kingdom. It's Flaming Tree Barbecue.
Hmm.
Flame Tree Barbecue. It's
Hmm.
I can get 2 meals and dish out everything family style for all 5 of us, and great portions, good service. The chicken is my favorite. Kyle loves the ribs.
Hmm.
It's just it's tasty and
Well,
economical.
the two of them together are a good combination.
Mhm.
Sure. All right, for my number 5 on quick service, I went to Disney Springs, and I'm going to visit Guy Fieri at the Chicken Guy restaurant. It's great food. I'll tell you though, we had a Cane's, which is chicken strips just opened up
Mm-hmm.
off property. It's not on property, so it doesn't count. I'll tell you, if they were at Disney Springs, they would give the Chicken Guy a run for their money.
You think so? Really?
I love Cane's.
Cairns wasn't that good. I've only had it in New Orleans though, so
My son
Yeah.
worked. My son was a chicken pro at Cane's, so I know. I would get that smell every night when he come home. So
Well, Cane's doesn't count, but Chicken Guy does, and that was my
Right.
choice for number 5 on my quick service list for today. It'll change tomorrow, but for today.
and
All
see
right,
where
now.
you look at that with the chicken is where I looked at the sandwiches with
Yeah.
burger sandwich. It's the same because I can get chicken fingers anywhere here. They're huge up here.
I think there are better places to get sandwiches on property. Maybe not in Disney Springs, but I love a roll of sandwich too. I'm not gonna, I can't argue with it.
Right.
But
No, it's just one of those things. Like you with Chicken Guy. Same
Yeah.
thing. Well, we won't get into that. Never mind.
that's
Number
right.
4.
Yeah, number 4.
Number 4. Flame Tree Barbecue, Miss Lottie. I agree. Everything you said. There's such a variety of food choices you can get on there. And if you don't like one, or if you can't decide on just one, then order the combo platter where you can get a couple of them. It's just really good barbecue. And it just melts off the bone.
That it does. All right, Darlene, number.
Okay. Polite Pig.
Mhm. I thought about putting Polite Pig on my list, but I was more in the mood for Chicken Guy. But that's a really good choice.
Well, they're right across the street from each other, aren't they?
Down the street.
Kinda.
They're down the block.
Down
About
the
a quarter
block,
mile.
little.
Yeah.
By
Feast
the
up
Lime
here,
Garage.
feast up there.
One's by the lime, one's by the orange.
All right, John.
Well, I know nobody's going to have this one, but it's another out of the parks restaurant, and I've done lunch here and dinner, especially when I was staying there, and that was at the Riviera at Primo Piatto.
Mm.
They have.
Never eaten there.
It's not a very big restaurant, but I like the food. We've done takeout from there a few times.
I think John went through his list and said, "Where are places I know no one has probably ever gone to, and let me pick them."
I've said Primo
That's good.
Piatto won this show before, so
That's really good though, John, because that gives people who want to try new things a little information on a restaurant they might want to go a little bit out of their way to experience.
yeah. So for instance, they have the Croque Monsieur, which it's not.
Wait, did you say the Croque Monsieur? Is that a dead man?
Croque Monsieur.
Oh, okay.
And it's not a Monte Cristo, but it's ham and Swiss cheese, and It's similar to that, but
I wish they would bring the Monte Cristo here.
they've got. I don't think I've had their pizza. They have a tuna niçoise salad, which is good, and a grilled chicken sandwich I've had is good. And they have breakfast as well, so it's versatile, and it's a place that I like.
I ate there once. It was very good.
Okay, Lottie.
My number 4, it would have been Chicken Guy, but I had to take it off my list after I made the comment about the sandwich place, Earl of Sandwich,
Earl of
because
Sandwich?
I can also, not only can I get Earl of Sandwich in Detroit, I can also get Chicken Guy in Detroit now. So I had to take it off my list.
All right.
Boy,
So
isn't you lucky?
Yeah.
my number 4, there's actually 2 Chicken Guys within driving distance of my house. There's one
Really?
Detroit, and then they just opened up one at the casino in
Wow.
Mount Pleasant, which is about an hour and a half away from here.
Wow.
Yeah, God must really like Michigan.
I think so.
So my number 4 is now Captain Cook's over at the Polynesian.
Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't make my list, but it's a good choice. We're on number 4. My number 4. It's over in Disney's Hollywood Studios. If you step into the Star Wars land area, Docking Bay 7. I know it's not one of your favorites, Kurt, but I love the different kind of food there. It's just
I do too.
out of this world.
Oh,
It was the first time we ate there, we really enjoyed it. The second time, it was just, I can't get my wife to even want to try it again.
The
It was
chicken,
that bad for the service and that
Really?
horrible. They wouldn't even, when we said you made a mistake, it took them over 20 minutes to fix the mistake. And they admitted they made the mistake, but 20 minutes to get the meal. While I stood there, my food got cold, and the rest of my family was done, and they're like, we didn't even like it.
my issue with that one, the food is decent, but my issue was the chicken. I ordered the chicken, and they come in those little cubes or the little rectangular whatever. And I look at the chicken and I wonder how much chicken did you have to waste to give me a perfectly carved rectangle on my plate? It just feels like food waste to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've never had a problem there. I've always had good experiences there, good food, and I can't complain.
It's good, but food waste.
All right. And everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, where are we? Number 3.
Number 3, I really wanted it to be Geyser Point. I even tried to see if I can order off the app, and it's not available anymore.
what did
I
they
don't know when
do?
they switched it, because last year they did. So this must have just switched, because it is considered table service, and it's also considered a pool bar. So I guess you can walk up and order it, but you can't mobile order it anymore. At least not right now. So I had to take it completely off my list, and I'm disappointed.
Oh,
So I did go to the plate.
It's okay. The judges would have taken it off your list anyway.
Yeah, no one listens to that judge anyways. He's a judge.
Oh,
So no, that doesn't count anyways. So we're going over to the Polite Pig. I'm kind of on a barbecue theme here. I don't know. So the Polite Pig. There's a reason why there's always a wait for that place. It is good. It's table service food, in a quick service environment.
All right, Darlene.
Cooks of Dublin.
Disney Springs. Where
Yes,
is that?
Disney Springs. It's right.
Raglan Road, or
Yeah, it's right by Raglan Road on the opposite side of the outdoor bar, which they're expanding Raglan Road.
What kind of food do they serve at the restaurant?
Fish.
Irish.
It's fish.
Irish fish. Yes. Good fish fry.
Okay. I know Darlene loves her fish fry.
I do. My other place was a table service, but I didn't put it down because I ran out of.
Because it's a table service. You couldn't
Table
put it down.
service.
Well, I had other ones that I wanted to put on my list.
Yeah, we all did.
Mm-hmm.
All right, John.
well, I'm going back into the parks and I'm staying there. And it's been one of my favorites for a long time, and it's Columbia Harbor House.
Mm.
I I love the New England feel there. I love to sit upstairs, and it'll be interesting looking out the window now as things might start to change there.
Oh
But
yeah.
we'll have to see what happens to Liberty Square and what happens to Columbia Harbor House.
Mm-hmm.
But love the lobster roll and some of the other items on the menu there as well. It's just a comfy, good feeling, enjoyable meal to me whenever I'm there.
I just wish they had more than just chicken fingers on there for people who have
Who,
food
who aren't
allergies.
seafood, yeah.
I so much wanted to have the chicken pot pie. I had it. I was ready for it. We had that circled on our must do, and COVID hit and it went away. And
And
it's
have it.
never come back. We're like, oh,
Uh,
the chicken strips are good, but it's chicken strips.
there's a crispy mushroom roll.
That's an appetizer. That to me, I don't know.
Well, no, it's their plant based
Right.
Mm-hmm.
entree.
All right. Wadi.
My number 3 is the Thule Canteen at Hollywood Studios. Create your own bowl thing. Just it works for me. And now it doesn't work for the kids. They will not eat there. But if I'm there alone, that's where I'm
Wait,
going.
Did you say how it's even in Animal Kingdom?
Yes, Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, that threw me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Yep, Animal Kingdom.
Pandora,
That one
Galaxy's
you think-
Edge, they all go together.
Yeah, it's all often. It's in another
Yeah.
world, anyways.
Yeah.
They won't eat the pods, the hamburger pods.
My kids don't eat burgers.
Oh,
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. Man, that's a staple in my house, but I wish it wasn't.
Mm.
All right. Me. I went with Backlot Express because why pay sci-fi dining prices when you can go to Backlot Express?
Same menu.
No. I love the food choices at Backlot Express. They do have a decent variety of food, and it's all good. I think it's one of the best food quality restaurants of the quick service restaurants you can find on property.
And then Stuart pulls up the YouTube video of the films that are playing at the sci-fi dine-in, and he sits there at his table and he eats it. And he
Puts a
watches the
fan
YouTube
next to
of
his
while he's
head.
eating. Puts a fan there, yeah.
To cool off.
Exactly.
It's more like old shorts of the old movies from the Marx Brothers.
We're to number 2 already, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
So, yeah, Lottie, I upped you again on your last one. I went to Thule Canteen for my number 2. I love the fact that I can choose my base, I can choose my meat, I can choose my dressing. I'm sorry, my protein and my dressing. Boom, boom, boom. Design it any way you want. Get your drink, multiple choices of drinking. I love that place. And the cheeseburger pods are actually pretty good too.
They are. All right, Darlene.
Okay, my second one, I'm on a pizza kick tonight, is the Pizza Window at the Annapolis.
Which I've never seen open.
I know that you've
I
never
would
seen
trust you, Darlene, that it's open, but I've never been there when it's open. Never.
Yeah.
Answer this
Never.
for me, Darlene.
Yes.
Honestly, the last time I had it, it was the thicker pizza.
Yes.
And it was greasy.
No.
Like really, really greasy. Now I did get pepperoni. It was pepperoni and sausage. Maybe that's why it was so greasy.
Maybe.
But
We only get pepperoni or cheese.
it
And
was
the
really
slice-
greasy.
The slice is literally like this big, and
Oh,
Keegan
it's-
can split it.
I couldn't finish it. It was too much and too greasy. So I
Yeah.
was just disappointed.
All right, John.
I'm going to go barbecue. And I know there's lots of places you can get barbecue, but my favorite place to get barbecue in Walt Disney World is Regal Eagle in Epcot at the
Can I say something about Regal Eagle? I've eaten there several times, and I haven't been there, and I want to say in about 4 or 5 months. And the reason is because the last couple of times I was there, the quality of the food kind of went down a little bit.
My wife said the same thing.
Really?
Yes.
My wife said the same thing.
I loved it when it opened, but it's just something's different. I can't put my finger on it.
I don't remember which meat it was, but one of my meats was really dry. I think it might have been the pork. It was just really, really dry.
And they were
I
known for
must
their
get something
barbecue.
different from what you get.
Yeah.
Because I
had
haven't
I was-
experienced that.
things there.
Because I took it off my list specifically because you said, Kurt, it's not the same.
Yeah.
And
I
I had
hope
to
it's
agree
changed
with her.
back to what it was. And if somebody does go there soon that has been there a few times, please let us know.
I will go there this month and let you know.
Yeah, let me know, please. 'Cause I'd
John,
love
you
to
like
go back.
Sci-Fi Diner. I don't trust your opinion.
Well, that's well known. I think our listeners could discern that from our discussion. So
Really?
Not
Just
sure
make
we'll
that
be
fit.
eating this week when the kids come down, but maybe that'll be one of their options.
Yeah, I hope it's gone back to the
I'd
way it
love to
was.
know.
All right, Lottie.
My number 2 is Regal Eagle.
You know, Kurt?
I mean, even if the
Right,
meat isn't great, the French fries are amazing, and then there's that bar right outside that you can get some really good drinks at.
This is
Mhm.
about food, not alcohol.
But like it's complimentary, right? You
Yes,
order
it is.
a great drink and you got some barbecue and some fries to soak up all the alcohol. It's fantastic.
Mhm.
Yeah, in the hot
Well,
sun.
it
where it'll
complements it, but it's
dehydrate-
not complimentary. There's a difference.
Yes.
Yeah, there's nothing like that says alcohol in a hot sun in Disney World.
Yeah.
Let's get dehydrated.
is that the block and hands?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There's a
Mhm.
what's the drink that I always get there? It's the mint julep.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
The mint julep. They make a good one there.
All right. For me, my number 2 choice was getting back to food. Connections Cafe in Epcot. I love the restaurant there. I love the selection. It's right now for me, of all the quick service restaurant, it's got the best burger you can find. It's big, it's juicy, it's just great. It's why go to the Edison and spend $25? Well, it was $25 like 2 years ago. I don't know how much it is now for their burger, which is not that good, honestly. When you go to Connections and for half the price, get a really good burger, a great burger, I might add. And they have good salads and everything else there. The desserts. All right, Kurt, we're at number 1.
Number one, I'm coming back to Wilderness Lodge. We drove here from Bay Lake Tower because we needed good comfort food that was close by, and we knew we could get it here. We went to Roaring Forks over at Wilderness Lodge. Good food, huge servings. It's not a ridiculous price, and they are good. Those burnt ends are delicious. I'm on a barbecue kick tonight or something. I don't know what to tell you.
They could use a little more seating, but I agree with you.
We ate outside. We did
Okay.
it outside. It was a nice,
The weather's
cool
good.
evening. And we did not get attacked by all the vicious blackbirds that we used to get attacked by. No one came in my bacon, so I was a happy camper.
All right, final quick service restaurant, Darlene, for you.
Well, I asked Keith because I couldn't choose which one. So the last couple times we've been in Magic Kingdom, we've both decided to go to Pecos Bills, and we've enjoyed it.
That to me that's surprising because now I haven't been there in a while because a lot of my neighbors here and a lot of friends of mine that have been there have had the opposite opinion.
Yeah, no, the food was good. It was fine,
well,
and it was
yeah.
busy too.
It's
Nice.
always busy there when I go
It's
by.
always busy.
She's from Buffalo. They don't have great taste in food.
My family took that off the list. Gonna be honest.
No,
Didn't even make my top.
yeah.
15.
That you know what? If you would have asked me 5-6 years ago, that would have been in my top 3. But I think
Oh,
there have
the
been
Fixin'
so many-
Bar.
Oh, I think once the Fixin' Bar went away and the food choices changed to less desirable choices, it's just steadily gone downhill on
Yeah,
my list.
I just got nachos with,
Yeah, we stopped going. But you know what? I
I
hope
didn't
you
like
and
the
Keith are
nachos
right.
the last time we got them.
And I'd like to
Yeah.
hear from listeners out there or viewers out there if they've gone to Pecos Bills anytime recently, what they've thought of it.
I mean,
You
that
know,
can all be changing soon. You never know what they're going to keep, what they're going to get rid of.
honestly, I have heard. I don't want to spread rumors, but I have heard that restaurant's in for a big change.
So you
But
never know.
Tiana's?
I'm sorry.
Tiana's theme? Maybe.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I've heard something else. I don't want to say what it is because I know how Disney is. They can change their mind a million times before it gets to what it will be. All right, John.
It's been my top counter service restaurant for a while, and it still is, and it's Satuli Canteen. And on top of all the things you've already said, it's got fantastic theming. It's cool. There's lots of space there, and every time, irrespective of what I get from my main course, I always have blueberry cream cheese mousse.
Oh, that's good. Oh yeah.
Yeah, what's not to like? All right. Lottie, number one.
My number one, I cannot leave the Magic Kingdom without a lobster roll from Columbia Harbor House. That's like, I've not been to the Magic Kingdom if I did not have a lobster roll from Columbia Harbor House. That it's a great time to sit down and cool off or stay dry in the rain. Charge your phone for a minute or whatever it is that you need to do. I've sadly taken more meetings than I would care to admit from the second floor of Columbia Harbor House.
That's a good idea. So I have to work at Disney World for a day and a half on my extended trip. I could go up to the second floor there.
Mm-hmm.
And they have restrooms inside too.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Wait,
And
you don't find that very much in
No.
counter service.
yeah, the Wi-Fi is good in there. And if you can stand around and wait on one of the tables that has a plug there, that's a good place to camp out for a little bit if you've got to work from.
Well, I'd be there in the morning probably, so I don't think that'd be a problem.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
The idea.
Columbia Harbor House didn't make my top 5 this time around. It is a great quick service restaurant. I love going up to the second floor there because it's never crowded on the second floor. And there are a lot of parents who don't like to bring their little ones up to the second floor because I guess it's tough to have like toddlers.
Hard to carry them up there.
Yeah. So they stay down on the first floor, so it just makes it for a quiet, not a quiet, but a quieter experience, and it's a wonderful place. But my number one was something that John had for his number one, something that Lottie had on her list, something that Kurt had on his list, and I think by far the best quick service restaurant in all the world. I almost said all the land, but all the world. Satuli's Canteen. For everything and whatever, for every reason everybody stated before. I love the place. If I could eat there 3 times a day, I would. And I'd probably never get sick of it. And I heard that the cups now for the soda fountains, I heard they've gone to glass.
Oh, good.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not, but I thought I heard that somewhere.
My guess is they're plastic that look like glass. I can see a lot of glass shattering.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
think
Probably
Like
is
those
glass.
plates that look like they're glass with the plastic.
Yeah, you're probably right. Let's look that up.
What other glasses at Satuli Cantina?
Hey, long as they're reusable, that's what I'm looking for. No food waste, no single-use plastics.
All right, there you have it. So we hope we help everybody out there with choices for their future trips, good, bad, and otherwise. Hopefully good. And I think this was a fun show to go through this. And if we did this next week, we'd have probably, I'd say, close to a third different choices on our list. All right, that's going to do it for us this week. We're going to be late next week with our show, just so everybody knows. Probably our Halloween show, which will be recorded late in the week next week. So it'll be a while before we're back, but we will be back next week, just a little bit later in the week.
Mhm.
And there will be an announcement coming from me personally to all our listeners and viewers out there within the next month or so. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, everybody be safe, be yourself. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
See you real soon.
Have a magical night. Stay safe. Be sure to pack your sunscreen, even though it's getting chillier out. You still need the sunscreen, and pack a hat.
Well, Stuart told me that if Doris
Wait,
Day
Lottie's
was,
supposed to go. John, you go last. Wait, Lottie, did you go?
She did.
I must have spaced that. Sorry. Go ahead, John.
well, Stuart told me that if Doris Day was going to be going to a restaurant, she'd be going to Que Sena, Sena. But this is perfect for Kurt, and that is fish are friends, fish are friends, fish are friends, not food. Well, we hope that you enjoyed our food and that you are our friends and don't come fishing for a compliment, but come fishing for some good fun about Disney World and news to boot. So hope to see you next week. Good night.